Guys, my bro. I'm talking to the mic for the last, like, whatever this has been, 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes, and no one said anything. God damn. Oh, my goodness. It's crazy, bro. Like, people watch and they don't say anything. Why? Why are you looking at the screen and not commenting? Anyways, let's start from the beginning. So, obviously, a huge move yesterday, from yesterday with the China situation with Trump. I just said that I think that the deal is awesome that we got something and that we're actually talking to China, but it's not as good as people initially anticipated. So, if you pay attention, I mean, they've been discussing deals and they've lowered tariffs, but it's only for a 90-day pause. And those are basically measures they're going to take to allow for more trade deals to be put into effect. So um, we'll see how that plays out over the next 90 days. But obviously, the news was still good. Now we're getting kind of a reversal on the day. But you can see all of the stocks that I was pointing to in yesterday's video, like Occidental Petroleum, Tesla, Nike. Everything's doing pretty well. Crypto is actually selling off slightly. My Riot position, which is also one of those high risk, high reward plays I told you guys about, is up 2%, so that's good to see. But go ahead and go back and watch that video if you guys get a chance, and you'll see that I literally talked about how the charts show that there's potential for a trade deal. I didn't say for sure, but I said that it's possible based on some reactions I saw from oil. But that is obviously speculation. But right now on NQ, this is where I want to see the market go in the short term. Leopard was Oh, Leopard, what's up, bro? Was literally about to DM you. Have a good stream, man. Appreciate it, Leopard. Appreciate it, bro. And you too. I know you've been streaming as well. But what I want to see here, for those of you guys who are maybe, I don't know, newer to ICT or you want more about like weekly and daily biases, um, I want to see this weekly fair value gap get rebalanced. That's going to be super important to me. So ideally, we could either trade down into this volume imbalance down here and then go higher, or we can get some kind of a setup from within here. I don't really want to take a trade today, to be honest, based on what I'm seeing. But I'm also kind of late to the stream. Trump, China tariffs will go up without a deal, of course. But yeah, I think that we're probably going to get some kind of a reaction from within this 5 minute gap. There are these perfect equal highs? No, they're not. I'm trying to see if there's any A plus set up earlier today. Let's look at the 15 minute. This was a pretty nice 10 minute inversion. I probably would have taken this, targeting the mean threshold of the new week opening gap. So once we closed above this, I'm just going to give you guys an example of a setup that I would probably take. So we had a huge push up on the day. Then we traded into this new week opening gap. We came back and we inversed this 10-minute fair value gap. When this closed above, yes, this is kind of a risky trade because we're in heavy premium, but we also have a very strong P area above us. So you could have entered here and you could have targeted your stop to break even here at this high, and then you could have targeted the mean threshold of that new week opening gap, which is the 50%, which comes around somewhere around 20,958. I think that would be a pretty good trade. Here, we're still filling this fair value gap, so this is less of an A plus 10-minute IFEG if I had to say one, but I still think it's pretty decent. If you guys want to try like a 1-for-1 here and then hold up to the 830 and the top of the new week opening gap, you could do that if you want. But I will say it is higher risk because we've already filled a good portion of this new week opening gap now. So we'll see what happens with that. Do 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 do. All right, let me see something here. So if you're in this on the 10-minute inversion right now, guys, honestly, I would have my stop to break even, because what I think is going to happen here is we'll need to push through this 5-minute in order to get back to this internal high. Okay, so if you're in on the 10-minute here, your stop can be to break even. We've already traded down into this inversion fair value gap. So what we'd really like to see is a clean delivery back up to this internal high. Yes, could we trade down back into it? Sure, but I don't want to be a part of it if we come back down below my entry. So, excuse me. And I mean, I don't know exactly what is best to do right now as far as long-term positions, guys. I have a lot of long-term positions that are profiting nicely right now. Obviously, Tesla's going ballistic, Occidental Petroleum, my Riot position, my Tesla position, Google, Amazon, ASML. The only position right now that's doing rather poorly for me is UNH. That's United Healthcare. But that's a long-term hold, so we'll see what happens with that one. Because obviously that pharmaceutical information that came out yesterday, I mean, it shouldn't be bearish for United Healthcare because their costs will come down. But we'll see how that plays out over the coming months. I will note too, guys, though, we do now have a data low here. Was this right at market open? No. 3 a.m. was the information about the China deal, I think. That's probably what happened. What is this? Oh, that's the... Okay. So I will note this, guys, okay? Pay attention to this internal high that we swept. So obviously we have a huge displacement above that internal high on the 4-hour and the daily chart. A lot of the times the market will come back down and retest the high of this, like the high that formed here after breaking out, and then we will continue higher. So on the charts, what I think is smart to mark is, number one, keep that internal high on your charts, and also keep the low that formed here on your chart. So right now it's actually this candle, but this right here I will consider a data low. So I will mark this as a data low on my charts. And if we do miraculously get a ability to sweep this, or if we get a really nice inversion down to it, I will take that short. But for now, nothing really A+ that I see. We do have a pretty nice 1-minute inversion here to the downside, and if you want to short this, you could target the 50% of this leg. So like right now, I think this will probably lead us down to here, if I had to guess. So you would enter here, and your short target, your stop loss would be a 1-minute close back above, and then your target would be that 50%. And right here, your stop, in theory, should be to break even. I wouldn't personally do that because I think we could easily come back and trade into this order block, but this should drive us down here. Okay, so I would love to see, at minimum, we need to trade down into this 1 minute here. There is a tiny 1 minute that we are bouncing out of. We haven't quite come into this 1 minute, but this should still come down. So, yeah, there we go. There's that 1 minute fair value gap, and we should come down and trade into the 50%. Of course, now your stop should be at break even here. I would not want to see this come back. If we're going to come back into this 1 minute, I would want it to stop there and then completely reverse to the downside here. So like right here, I would want this 1 minute candle to be the end of the line and then continue down to that 50%. Beautiful. And I want to see this come down and trade right into there. And of course, that also pairs with that idea that we're fully inversing that 10-minute inversion. So we closed above it, and now we come down and fill most of it. That's the idea behind it. But now, wow. Boeing doing super nice. Let me see something here. Whoops. Okay, so if you were in that short, I would have, again, partialed here in this 1 minute gap, and then I would have held runners to that 50%. If we touch into the body of this candle, I would stop for break even right there on your entry. Let's see if that hits. And there's the stop for break even. All right, let me take a look at Boeing real quick. Bruh. Okay, let's edit this alert. First of all. Sheesh. Okay, so just so you guys can see here, I'll pull this up on the screen. Boeing was something we added at the 152 level, and we've been adding on pullbacks. I did close some of the position out at 180. I've closed almost everything out here at the 197.20 level, which is at buy side liquidity. Ahmed, good morning. Good morning, sir. Wish you call good trade. Try my best, brother. But yeah, congrats to everyone in the community who added Boeing down at these levels. We are now, I'm going to be out, I would say to be out at least 80% of your position here, and then I would hold the remainder up to this monthly fair value gap imbalance here. I think Boeing still has the opportunity to run much higher here, but at least another 8% from this level to balance this monthly BPR here. So if you want even to enter like a longer dated call, I mean, you could wait for a little bit more of a pullback on Boeing, but I think this is going to go up and sweep all of this. Let's see how our Disney position is doing today. We added Disney in the community last week, and it's pushing real nice. So I do want to see this go further. Obviously, we have lots of buy side liquidity up here, all three of these levels, and then 126 is my ultimate target. So congrats to those who held this. I mean, these are just gaps up after gaps up, so we'll see if that ends up delivering higher. But I will be partialing at all of these highs at 115, 118, 123, and my final take profit will be at 126.48. So don't be afraid to take partials, guys, but take small partials and then hold the remaining position, like maybe take 10, 20, 30% off and hold the rest up to that 126 level. That's going to be beautiful. Okay, so see what happens here. Trading into a bearish 1 minute OB and a BPR or an inversion here. So if we can hold this level, I think there's a chance that we come back and tag into that 50%. But not anything A plus anymore. That was the entry at first, partial in this 1 minute gap. And then from there, I'm not taking anything else. We also have a 1 minute inversion back to the upside here. We're in a macro time. Not a great spot to be trading, in my opinion. But what I will say, guys, if you are in any long-term trades right now, don't be afraid to start selling some covered calls. Wow. AMD is up 5% too. Very nice to see. So, like, for example, on my Tesla position and my Nike position, and also Riot even, on a day like this where we're up 7% on this type of news, not a bad idea to sell covered calls. I talked about in my video that once we traded into that monthly fair value gap on Tesla, it keeps doing this. So we're in this monthly fair value gap. I said in between this low and the mean threshold of the monthly fair value gap is a good time to sell covered calls. But if this Robotaxi event pushes us higher, again, I'm more inclined to believe it's like a sell the news event. But if we are able to close higher here on the monthly, I think that Tesla's going to pump all the way up to all-time highs, and then we're going to go much higher. So pay attention to how this monthly candle or the next monthly candle closes. Robotaxi event, we don't know exactly when in June it's going to happen, whether it's going to be in early June, mid-June, or late June. I believe it's probably going to be closer to mid-late June. I don't think they're going to just do it right away. But we'll see what happens with that. I will be selling some covered calls in my position, though, probably when we hit this mean threshold at 338. So I'll be paying attention to that. And yeah, that's pretty much it with those stocks. ASML, another one we've been adding below all of these levels. So within this wick, I've been adding a lot of ASML, primarily between that 650 and 620 level, the low of that monthly fair value gap, and we are getting a huge push. I think that ASML is going all the way back up to buy side here, and we're going to fill this, we're going to trade back into this order block. So 811 is definitely on the cards for ASML, which is another 10% move from here. So that's going to be insane as well. Pretty much, like I said, everything is profiting nicely in my portfolios apart from UNH. So yeah. Okay, another rejection here on the 1 minute from that inversion fair value gap, but no A+ setup here. Nothing at all. Sorry, I got distracted. Um, there is nothing here still, guys. Still in that inversion fair value gap on the 1 minute. We close below here. Technically, that's the entry. I still think this 50% is coming. But if you guys want to try a scalp, you can. I don't think it's a great idea, but you can if you want. Should we try scalping it with one contract? I'm not going to, but if you guys want to, you can. From here, you're looking at A 19-point scalp, give or take. A little bit more if you're entering a little higher. Can do a 1-for-1 if you want. Okay, so I would watch this internal low here, and then again, the mean not the mean threshold, the mean threshold of this leg of price, and then this 1 minute gap is what I would pay attention to here. This is something just to study, though. This is not something to enter, in my opinion. So we closed above the 5 minute inversion. We did not close above this, so there is no long entry for me right now on this trade. We did close above the 10 minute inversion, which is fine, but I don't trust the look of this one as much as I do on the 5. This is super important to me. So for now, I still would like to see lower here, but again, there is no trade setup here on the 1 minute. We closed above a 1 minute inverse and we closed back below it. Now we're closing back above it again. This is terrible PA to be a part of. Terrible PA to be a part of, I'm telling you right now. Even though I do think this is going to sweep this 50%, there's no setup, no reason to be a part of this, in my opinion. Okay, so another tap into this 1 minute inversion here. Hopefully this is what drives us down to that 50%. But again, guys, still nothing to take on a live account. But wow. I'm just looking at some other positions here. Did anybody... Okay, you can comment in the chat if you're in the community. I think some of you guys are. Did anybody add Tesla, Nike, ASML, Riot, Google, Amazon, Toyota? Did anyone add any of those stocks when I called them in the community? And if you guys don't believe me, actually, let's pull it up right here, okay? I will pull up my long-term ads here. I'm not going to show you guys everything, actually. Hold on one second. I'm going to show you guys what I added on April 4th, 2025. Okay? QQQ, S&P, Nvidia, AMD, Amazon, Toyota, Occidental Petroleum, Google, Nike, Tesla, ASML, and Palantir I didn't add because we didn't get the level that I wanted. But you guys can see every single thing that I added here on these days. And everything is up like crazy. And then also before that, let me see where it is. Where is my Toyota ads? I mean, I don't care if you guys see this now, right? This is later on. Oh, Toyota's right here too. So all of those positions were added when they were at heavy discounts compared to today. And then Disney I just added, last week, earlier, so. But yeah, nobody seems to have added them, huh? It's a shame, bro. Okay, so classic consolidation here on the 1 minute. Obviously, we have this 1 minute inversion, like I just said. Here is a way, guys, to know if your day trading is going to end up being terrible or not, okay? When you get inversions, okay, and we close below them, this, in theory, should be used as resistance to go lower, especially if you have a target lower. If we start closing above the inversion and then back below it and then back above it, this is a sign of chop. This is a sign that you're going to get smoked out of your trades. So just be aware of these types of things. This is why I love IFEGs, because it can give you a signal as to whether or not the market's going to behave poorly. And right now, this is terrible price action. Not something you want to be a part of. Wait for liquidity to be swept and then look for another trade. Oh my god, bro. Yeah, what's up, Tristan? Good morning, bro. Yeah, very nasty little 10-point range that's doing nothing for us. But what I will say, guys, again, this is going to be my long-term objective for now. We have a very obvious weekly fair value gap here to the upside, okay? How we get there is going to be very tough to know. We could come back and trade into this volume imbalance first, but what I'm thinking is that we come back and test this internal high that we just traded above. I'm thinking maybe we reject from the new week opening gap, come back, retest this, get some consolidation, maybe a manipulation in tomorrow's London or New York session. And then we get a trade up into this internal high right here, which also pairs with that weekly fair value gap. So this is my next draw on liquidity. From here, we're looking at, hold on. we are looking at 320 something points, give or take. So yeah, there's two different scenarios that could play out here. What I'd prefer to see is this. I'd prefer to see us come back, trade to this high right here, then get some kind of a manipulation, Judah swing down in the Asia or London session or even the New York session, and then we'll have like that'll form like the low of week, and then we'll target the weekly fair value gap after that. That's my main thinking right now. So we'll see if we do get that. But again, that would mean we need to come down here. The data lows and then that internal high. I'd like to see us manipulate down into here, Judah swing, and then target this. So I'm not really looking for up here until we get past all this. And then we do have all this low resistance liquidity right here, LRLR. Almost like that trend line that we always talk about, right? It's not the best LRLR, but it's still LRLR. Oh, my nose is so itchy. And right now we do have what looks like an inverse head and shoulders pattern. One, shoulder, head, shoulder. But this needs to hold, obviously, for that to continue up. And I'm not really a pattern trader like that. All right, bro, this is the worst PA to be trading. Honestly, the worst. If you guys want to try 1-for-1 scalp here to target that 50%, be my guest. Again, nothing I'm going to be doing, but you guys need to learn when to be trading and when not. This is terrible PA. Oh. Okay, so this internal low should come now, and then I would like to see this 50%. But nothing here to trade. Nothing at all. Anyone take any trades already today with this wild news? Okay, so there's that internal low, and we should now hit this 50%. This is cheeks to even watch. Big time. Oh, damn. How is gold doing? I haven't even checked it. Bro, what is going on with this? Oh, we got to... Bro, what? I didn't get the alert. Wow, that is... Oh, wait. No, never mind, guys. So, I was talking about gold. No, I think it looks pretty good still. We have this 4-hour inversion on gold after we made the high, the all-time high on gold actually here, and we traded back into that 4-hour inversion, and I was looking for a trade back to this level. I'll explain why in a second. If we go to the hourly chart, you can see how the bodies of the hourly held that 4-hour inversion perfectly. I was looking for a trade back up into this hourly fair value gap to go short. We never got it, and now we are sweeping all the way down. I said that this low was coming, and it probably still is. We could come up and fill this gap first, but my first target on gold for the short, if I was in it, would be this low, and then I would be targeting this low next, right here. And I know that sounds like a lot to ask, but it's definitely possible this can hit. So if you guys are looking for another entry on a short, this gap right here with your stop loss above the gap wouldn't be a terrible short. But for me, my entry would have had to have been here, so I cannot hold it. But yeah, this is probably still going to go down. And then at minimum, I mean, if you look at this leg of price on gold. Oh, whoops, wrong thing. The mean threshold has already been hit. So we already hit 50% of this leg of price. But yeah, I still think this can go a lot lower. I would like to see these lows get swept at some point soon. But we'll see what happens with gold. Again, my entry would have had to have been up here, stop loss above this wick. And it would have targeted this low and then this low. But anyways. Okay, so no touch of the 50%. We should still go to it, maybe on this candle right here. Wow. I'm just reading here. I think it was Besant that said, China said they ignored their trade commitments under Biden because they knew he was weak. Wild. Okay, so there is a 1 minute inversion happening right now. Again, would I take this? No, not in this leg of price. But this, in theory, will be used to go up to this internal high right here. If you guys want to try a 1-for-1 trade, entry will be... Whoa, why is this so solid? Excuse me. Okay, so no close above anyways, but... Hold on 1 second. I want to change the opacity. Not a great RR. Not terrible. Some people will see that and turn into something about Trump. Of course. I'm just waiting to see what Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren have to say about the drug price cutting. If you guys heard, he's doing this 50 or 30 to 80% cut on drug costs, pharmaceutical costs for the average person, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that was the entry right there. Stop to break even at this high, and I would hold up to this high. And you're probably going to get stop for break even right there. So... But yeah, I'm excited to see what Bernie and Elizabeth Warren have to say about him cutting drug costs. See if they can twist it into something they don't like. Ooh, Tesla's back at 320. Let's go. Let's go. Any other stocks you guys want me to look at? Because this is really, really bad PA. Before I even decide to sign off here, because I don't see anything A+ right now. Okay, one thing I will point out after the gym, not watching a 10-point range, good idea. Okay, so one other stock that I haven't really talked about today is AMD. Obviously, our ASML is printing. Bro, we are up 15% on our long-term positions. If you guys aren't in the Discord, you guys are missing out. I'm telling you right now. In fact, I'll post the link for it just so you guys can have it. Even though no one will probably join because it's a sleeper. How do I pin it? But every single stock that I've called in the long-term ads is up pretty big right now. ASML, AMD, Toyota, Nike, Amazon, Google, Tesla, Riot. Literally everything is up, bro. If you guys aren't part of it, you're sleeping. You're missing out. I'm telling you right now. But yeah, ASML is up 15% from our ads. AMD is another one that we added below, I think even below 90. Let me check. Yeah, I was adding AMD mostly in this golden pocket between 92 and 85. Did add a little bit below, but that's it. If we are able to close above this weekly fair value gap right here, I think that that's finally going to be what it's finally going to be what we need to use AMD to go higher here. So at least to 131. If we can break structure above 131, which is this internal high, I'm going to look for that to be used as support, and hopefully we get back up to all-time highs or maybe into this imbalance. We'll see what happens with that. But I think that's going to be an A+ long-term position as well. Yeah, the only performer, the only thing that we have added, and that we just started adding this recently, like in below 402. Actually, I did add some at 436 at this sell side, but majority I've been adding is at that 402 to 380 range. We're now trading into this monthly, and I believe it's a 3-month fair value or a 6-month fair value gap as well. So I'm looking to add strongly to UNH here. One concern I do have is that we are creating kind of like a change in market structure here, a change in the state of delivery with this strong candle below the internal low. But I don't really take that into account for things like healthcare or individual stocks like this that have been going on an uptrend since 85. We had a similar thing happen here in 2008, and then we had a massive recovery. So we'll see what happens with UNH. But I'm adding this for the long term. I would expect us to come back to highs at some point pretty soon, within the next year or so. But we'll see what happens with it. So that's the only one right now that's not performing A+, and right now I'm only down 6.5%, 6.25% on UNH. So I think I'm probably going to get off soon, guys. We've been streaming for almost an hour now. And there's definitely not anything A+ in this leg of price, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, what I'll do, I'm going to stay on the charts for a bit, but right now, nothing A+. If I see anything A+, I will call it in the live alert section, for those of you guys who didn't know. In the community, we have all different types of sections here, all my long-term ads, all my option plays, swing trades, and then on the daily, I'll call live alerts in this tab. So if you guys want access to all of that, you can click the link in the description. But I will see you guys all in the Discord that are in there. Best of luck with your trading this week. Tomorrow, let me check here. Tomorrow is a Discord live stream. Wednesday will be back on YouTube, and Thursday as well. And then Friday, which in my opinion, Wednesday or Tuesday and Friday are the best days to trade. Those will be in the Discord. But I'll see you guys there. Oh, Charlie's here. Sorry, Charlie. This morning I had to start late, unfortunately, because of an alarm situation. But I was just telling them that there's really not anything A plus here that I would take personally. But super happy to see all of our long-term positions printing right now. But if I see anything, guys, A plus in the Discord, I will call it in the live alert section. I wish you guys the best. Why don't you get in on the 5-minute IFEG? I didn't like it. We had another 5-minute inverse right here that we didn't close above. So we need to see this close above to target this high. But I don't really like, personally right now, I'm more so aiming for this data low and the daily high that we swept. So even though we got this big displacement here, I'm not so keen on any inversions. I did like this one earlier, right here on the 10-minute. And there's also some on the 1-minute as well. Like this 1-minute inversion was pretty good after we swept liquidity. But I was looking at the 10-minute to target the new week opening gap's mean threshold. So when this candle hit right here, that was the entry, stop to break even at high of day. And then I wanted to target that 50%, but I was not on the chart, so I didn't see this. Now that we filled a lot of this new week opening gap, I'm more inclined to believe that we're going to come back and trade to this data low. So for Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm looking for a potential manipulation, maybe into CPI. So we have CPI on Thursday, or no, on tomorrow we have CPI. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to be looking for a Judas swing down to sweep this data low, touch into this daily internal high that we already swept, and then maybe get our long setup to target. Again, my main target for this week is going to be this weekly fair value gap right here. Do you think we fill the CME gap? I don't know. I don't really use that. That's not really a concern to me. But we'll see what happens. Again, I'm looking for some kind of a Judas swing down, and then this is my main target on the week. Maybe we come down later on and sweep. There's some daily gaps here. And I believe there's a daily... No, we already touched it. We have a data low here that we never swept, and we have a 4-hour fair value gap here that we never swept. Maybe one day we come back and tag these. It's possible. But for now, guys, that's not my concern. I'd like to see this weekly imbalance get hit first. So yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. I appreciate all your time, and I'll see you guys in the Discord.